I believe they should invest in the airport expansion and to bring in new jobs and revenue for the local authority. And if you look at the infrastructure network, we have 3 railway stations, 3 exits to M1, whereby it's accessible for the companies to invest in Luton because of the infrastructure and the time it takes out to get out of the town. And also, I believe the expansion of L&D hospital is must, because we lack resources in order to cater for the patients in all aspects of the department, as well as funding for the schools, which is of course is the future of our generation. Of course, I will work and lobby the relevant department, and I think the alternative way forward is the proportional representation, and it needs to be looked at more than ever before, and it needs to have a public support in order to implement it nationally. I'll ensure that investment in solar panels for all homes with the ability to sell excess generation to the national grid. I will lobby the relevant departments to ensure that the NHS never gets privatisation. If you look historically, going back years and years, when Florence Nightingale first went on this venture and started working for or establishing so-called NHS these days, and this is a very close to the people of the hearts, and I will create awareness, realization amongst public, so that we can have enough opposition for anybody to come and try to privatise the NHS. I welcome the announcements of EasyJet last week, whereby they're looking at zero carbon flights in the future, and the way forward, I believe, ought to be that we encourage other airlines to do the same thing, and whereby we could assist EasyJet. And also, I believe the larger planes have less flights and move away from fossil fuels in the aviation sector. This is a problem across the town. I believe we should have a zero tolerance on people who are parking. We probably need to create more red route zones, heavy fines those who park illegally, and we should return back to weekly bin collections rather than fortnightly. That has added up the problem, and in certain areas there is even far worse than what it used to be. And possibly look at the tip, whereby you could allow larger vehicles, who are not registered as company, but larger vehicles to take these rubbish into the tips. I believe we should honour the commitment of the referendum, and if you look at in Luton South in particular, 56% of the people voted to leave. Regardless of what you feel, we should be out of Europe as soon as possible, but with the deal.